First, did anything significant happen today?
So I actually think today was a very significant day in terms of this impeachment trial, because today the House Democrats effectively threw Joe Biden under the bus. I don't know if they did so deliberately, but that's the effect of what they did today.
How so?
Well, they doubled down on something they had started yesterday. In Adam Schiff's opening statement, the House Democrats, the House managers, they built their entire case on the proposition that investigating Burisma, this Ukrainian natural gas company, is completely unfounded, completely without merit, is a sham, is bogus. There's no basis whatsoever.
And Burisma is the Ukrainian natural gas company that Joe Biden's son worked for, that
was on the board of.
That he was on the board of, and we'll get into all that. They're saying that any call to investigate this well-known corrupt natural gas company is baseless, and it's just a way for President Trump to get a leg up on Joe Biden in the election.
So yesterday, Adam Schiff began in his opening laying out that standard, that it was a fraud, that it was a sham, it was bogus. And today,
Adam Schiff, I don't want to be too slow about it.
He is the lead House manager for the Democrats.
Yes. Do you know the reason I have to clarify who he is? There was just a question on Jeopardy where they asked who this man was, and it was a picture of Adam Schiff. Nobody got it right. So Adam Schiff is leading the impeachment charge in the Senate trial right now.
That is absolutely right. So he laid this out yesterday.
Okay.
Today, the House managers spent, I think, over an hour trying to make the case that there was no reason to investigate Burisma, that the only possible reason to want to investigate is for nefarious political purposes, because you want to smear your political opponent. Mm-hmm. And I got to tell you, that is, number one, ridiculous. It's just ridiculous on its face. And actually, this show, we're going to talk a lot about the substance of it.
Yeah.
But number two, the consequence of that is the media's got to talk about Burisma as much as they don't want to. They've got to talk about the evidence of Joe Biden's corruption. But it also means that when President Trump's lawyers get to present their case, starting on Saturday, that right at the heart of it is now going to be, this is the evidence of Joe Biden and Burisma's corruption.
So the Democrats, by talking about why we don't need to talk about Burisma, have inadvertently made us all talk about Burisma.
And the standard they've set, that it's completely baseless, completely meritless, it's a sham, it's bogus, is absurd. So let's walk through some of the specifics and details. And we're going to walk through in a little bit of real detail, because I think it matters. What is Burisma? Well, Lieutenant Colonel Vindman, who's one of the sort of star witnesses for the Democrats, Vindman described it as, quote, a corrupt entity. Now, why did he call it that? Let me give you a little bit of the history of Burisma. It's the biggest natural gas company in Ukraine. It grew under an oligarch, one of these Ukrainian billionaires, who was at the same time the Minister of Natural Resources. So he was granting his company natural gas licenses and then getting rich, and it became the richest company, the richest natural gas company, because he was the government official in charge of deciding who gets the license.
That's nice work if you can get it. So Burisma is not a natural gas company in the way that you think of like ExxonMobil.
Not remotely. Burisma was built on, hey, our founder is in charge of giving away the licenses, which means they knew a lot about buying government influence, because that's what they were built on.
It's crooked from the very beginning.
Exactly right. Now fast forward to early 2014. Early 2014, Joe Biden's vice president. Joe Biden stepped forward and said he would be the point person for the Obama administration on Ukraine. He became the face of Ukraine. He was talking to its president over and over again. He was the focal point by his own description. Then April, so this is early 2014. Biden's the point. Then in April, a guy named Devin Archer, who's business partners with Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's son, gets named to the board of Burisma.
So you've got, this is not Hunter Biden, this is Hunter Biden's business partner and associate.
And by the way, he's also business partners with John Kerry's stepson. John Kerry's the Secretary of State. So
I'm seeing a lot of swampiness in this whole association.
It gets worse. So this guy, Devin Archer, gets on the board. That is on April 13th. On April 28th, Britain's Serious Fraud Bureau freezes $23 million in accounts controlled by the oligarch in charge of Burisma. That's just a few days after Devin Archer is on the board. And then on May 12th, Hunter Biden gets named to the board. May 12th.
So Hunter Biden gets named to the board of Burisma less than 3 weeks after Britain's fraud department freezes Burisma's assets.
Yep.